Okay, let's go. I think I am live now. And I think it's good. So, it's such a pain in the butt to go live. I don't know exactly why. They should make it like super, super easy, but sometimes it's not that easy. And there are so many things that have been happening with AI this week. And last week I had headphones and I loved them because I was able to listen to music while I was talking with you guys. But then the other thing is that the microphone that it was picking up over here was not the actual mic that we have, but the mic for the headphones. So then I listened back to the stream and it was horrible. So I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. Um, but there's so much stuff that has been happening with AI in general, and I'm stoked to talk about it. Like not just with the things that I have made, but things that I have seen other people make and other people being using. And even though I'm not the one that is like consuming tools all the time, because I believe that can get very very distracting. Uh, I did do my best to like just know. Let me stop YouTube real quick. Okay, good. Um, I did do my I did do my best on trying to look at some of the new stuff, and but the main thing, like truly the main thing, it's gonna be Fable. Like Fable 5 is so amazing, is so strong, but yes, you're easily able to see like what what it was before and what it is right now, and I notice it the most whenever I am like Fable is the Anthropic model that the government blocked, and the way that I notice it so much is with passwords. So before, I don't know if this is good or bad, and I'm not recommending it to anyone, but I used to just give it my logins and expect it to go and go do some work. Like that is what I wanted for the agent to go do, like my Google credentials or my Facebook credentials. I'm free to go and explore in general and then come back and give me an answer. But something that is happening right now is that it tells me like if you want to do that, you need to do a different model. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. Then I change the model, I bypass that part, and then I continue working with the model that I have. But I think that is one of the biggest news, and one of the best news is that today they were supposed to take Fable away, but they decided to leave it until the 12th. I think there's a lot that has happened with the backlash, and also pricing is crazy on Fable. If you have a AI subscription and then you also are using API tokens and then you compare one another, you just see like how crazy and how expensive AI usage can really get. So I'm gonna go over the things that I would consider the most important for this week in the AI space, what I have been doing, what I have learned, and what you should be focused on, and what I have been focused on. So, some of the, as we have said, the top headline is Fable came back, and then it became paid. So, I have seen so many people that are like, we're gonna release this model that explain how they're doing it, and once you see how powerful it is, like people are gonna pay for it. And I do understand how that could happen, and I believe I'm still gonna be using just my subscription. I don't think I'm gonna go directly to get Fable 5 to develop, but something that I have been using it for a lot is for coding and the overall architecture of my agents. So instead of it, I look at the best models, in this case Fable 5, or when Opus 4.8 was the best model. I look at those as people that you send to explore and to actually look at the route, like Christopher Columbus coming to America. Those are the models that you send there, and then they map everything out, and then they bring it back to you, and then you send anyone, like any other model is able to replicate that work. So I use the frontier models and these smart models to find better architecture, better structure, and inconsistencies with my code. And that is what I focus on with these models. Like I don't use them for mundane tasks, but to like truly push the limit. And then I know that once they get to that limit, I can get another model that is gonna help me and is gonna get just as close. If not, just I might get the exact same result, but I need a frontier model and the best model at the beginning. So that is the way that, so they create the path, and then you use the other models to just walk the path, and they might be like little changes here and there, but the main model does the changes. And Fable came back into the subscription. I have a max subscription, so I didn't feel it as much. I did get to like 93% of my max usage this week, but normally I try my best to finish my credits on either by revising my code or looking at different MCPs or doing research, because it resets anyway. For me, it resets. I don't know if it's for everyone. That's probably something that I should check, but it resets Tuesdays at 7. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna burn through credits and look at my architecture, look at my agents, make sure that everything is working. And with Fable 5 being in the picture, that's a lot of what I did. Is like, how can I make it more efficient? How can I make my agents faster? And overall things that I could make better, like the brain of my agents. And I am happy that so they suspended it for 21 days, almost a month. That is insane that they were able to just turn it off. I'm still really surprised that that happened. I couldn't believe it. I was not at home. I went to church, I came back, and then we had no Fable 5. It was either, I believe it was on Monday. And then I came back and there was no Fable 5, and it just sucks. Like, it truly sucks. Memory. It truly sucks because, like, if you're running something important inside some of those models, like, it would be absolutely horrible what could happen to your workflows. Like, you're not expecting for that to happen. Like, you're not thinking that that is gonna happen, and when it does, you're just like, oh, well, that sucks. I guess I have no memory. I don't know how phones fill up so fast. I don't have that much info. And then taking things out of this iPhone, unless you put it on iCloud, is such a nightmare. So you guys are gonna have to give me a secret so that I can do that better, because right now it's just such a pain to have to delete videos every time I want to record a video. So where it is, nice. Good thing I had 2 long videos that I believe I can delete, so hopefully that gives us enough space. Good. Okay. So yeah, that has been an issue. And the reason, so the first time I had a model on my computer, so this one is the one that runs the agents, like the computer that I have right here. This one is the one that runs the agents, and I was just like, and so this computer is the one that where I have all of my agents, and I wanted to run a local model, and I'm like, okay, like if at any reason, for any reason, I have to run something locally, I just put like Gemma in there, so that's like a Google model, and I'm like, I'll just have it there, and then if something fails, like, it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna be an emergency, so I can still have it like working, but I never thought about like truly having a risk of someone turning off the models, and I don't like it because now it has made me spend more, because now I have to consider like having OpenAI APIs and different models and then different compute so that I can run some models locally, because we also know that 5.6 is gonna be slow. So there's so many disadvantages to having to relying just on one company to provide your models and to give you what you need to do, that I am just really really upset of that. But four models, four bills, four risk profiles, and Sonnet 5, I haven't used Sonnet 5 as much. I tend to truly run on Opus most of my things and on Fable right now. I know that that is gonna change as the limit of the uh, as the limit of Claude changes. So I'm sure that I'm gonna be running a lot more of Sonnet on my agents, at least on the easy ones, like the one that checks the bank, the one that posts the content, like all of those. I am sure that that is gonna happen, but in general, it is just so tough that the technology continues to get better, but uh, we don't get to benefit from it. And so I would. The good thing is that a bunch of these models are open source. So I don't think we're ever gonna go into a place that we are without AI. But the fact that some people get the best AI and some people don't, it's pretty crazy if you tell me. And that is true. Like something that no one tells us is that, let's just say we use the same prompt. Like that's why I like Gemini for one things, Claude for other things, and then ChatGPT for different aspects. So whenever I'm talking with ChatGPT, it has to do mainly with conversational stuff, and also other than my custom agents, ChatGPT is the one that tends to hold the best comprehensive memory without me having to like create a project or like dedicate time into building that into the backend. Because if you try to have a conversation with Gemini, it's like the craziest thing ever. I like Gemini overall because you get to do many things in there, but I don't think, other than images and some video, I don't think it's great at anything. And I like the fact that it has connections, like it's on your Google everywhere. But like if you use like Claude on specific, like with skills and on specific tasks, like it's so much better. If you're with ChatGPT or with Codex, same situation. Uh, I'm really happy to try Gemini Spark. I know that that's something that they presented. I checked a couple of weeks ago, and it was not live, even though they had presented it. But I'm looking forward to that because Google has the same advantage that Apple has, and that is that they're already integrated into our life. So if Apple comes out with like the most amazing AI right now, or partners like with Claude, or like with someone that like truly making their device for AI, like they already have the users and they could dominate that market. And I think that is pretty similar to what happens with Google. Like everyone has Chrome, and a bunch of people that I know are working with Google Suite, and most people that I know are working with Google Suite. So having like a personal agent that is inside of Google and having one that it's on your phone, like to just go out and then continue shopping like that for different AI, that's gonna be just for specific use cases. But uh, that is the difference, like truly with the models. And the next thing that Anthropic passes OpenAI on revenue, and Claude Science ships. I haven't checked Claude Science at all, but we know that ChatGPT has been just burning money. And I didn't know this, but now that I looked into it, if someone buys a $200 subscription, the amount of money that it actually costs for the AI companies to deliver, that is insane. And I know that OpenAI is the one that pays the most for the subscriptions that you get. So it's super expensive for them if you use your subscription to its full capability. And that's like that is just that's that's so crazy for me to truly understand how all of these companies, and that's where I do believe like the bubble does make sense. It's like there's so much money only 5% of people that have paid for an AI subscription that use AI, and it's just it's just so crazy, the numbers. And even though Anthropic is passing them on revenue, I do not believe, I would love to see how far they are from being profitable, to be honest. Uh, but but yeah, that is just absolutely insane. And Fable jailbreak that started the ban. I don't know, unless this is something absolutely crazy. I would love to see what it is. Cybersecuritynews.com. I don't know if I can trust this website, but we're gonna figure it out. So, multi-agent bypass. Okay, I get it. So they just made the model do more, and it was not supposed to do as much. And now they have to put new guardrails so you don't use Fable 5 and so that the model's boring. Nice. Uh, no, but yes, a bunch of these models, and I am sure that you have done this in the past, and not as extreme as what they're probably doing, obviously, but that you're like, oh, I cannot provide an answer for X, Y, or Z. Like Gemini used to do that in the past. OpenAI used to do that in the past, where you put something and they're like, oh, we cannot give you an answer. And then you ask it a different way, or you open a new chat and then you actually get the answer. It's the same now, but they are exploiting the boundaries. So they just found a way to do that. And then running local models, as we talked about, it's not efficient, and it can, unless you are someone that is truly planning to use AI continuously, consistently. I don't. It's pretty hard for people to just grab a computer and then, well, more than hard, I don't think as many people are doing it. I would recommend for people to do it, to have like a separate computer to run their agents and their terminal, but I don't think as many people are doing it. So based on that, uh, running local models is not really an option. Something that you can do is like open router, like all of those models become super cheap, or having like a VPS server, and then you're able to put open models in there. Because for example, uh, this computer that I have right here, like this one, it's not, even though it's pretty neat, 64 gigabytes of RAM, like struggles to run local models. And the two back there, like they have to run models on the cloud. Like running models in your computer is gonna be insane, and the hardware that you need is gonna be probably more than you are actually wanting to spend on AI. So find a way to, something that you can do is that you can run it on a cloud. So as I told you, open router, that's the only one I know. I'm sure that there's many other ones that you grab like the API and they're just like processing the compute for you. So all of these open source models, like you can just have an API as if you did for Anthropic, or as if you did for OpenAI, or as if you did for Grok AI, whatever. Um, and the 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 bad thing is that the bad thing that I see with these vans is just like AI feeds on information, and if I was the U.S. and the U.S. government, I would love for them to continue putting things on my model so that I can win the AI race. I would not like for them to put it on Chinese models or on a cloud, or for people to. I would not like for people to explore. I would just give them the best so that they can like being able to control that part of the market and putting the information in those models, because the people that are going to continue breaking the frontiers are the people that are willing to spend on hardware, are the people that are going to be willing to try new models, are the people that are like, they want the compute, like they don't really care about anything else. So I think it's better for us to use it on models that are developed in the US. That's what I believe. And Zuckerberg admitting that agents have stalled. Zuckerberg is he's such a genius on so many different things, like the way that he has been using the AI race in general, how he's using it on Facebook, what he's doing with Meta. Like I have the glasses, and are they Anthropic? Are they OpenAI? No, they're not. But is free AI, so that is pretty neat on most cases, right? And yes, I do agree. I think them saying uh, that they have stalled is true. I do feel like the improvements come with new AI models, so I could see, and I was super happy that this is a video that you're gonna see, but I created the templates for my AI video editor with Fable 5, and my AI video editor became so much better with the new model. So I think we have seen small changes and small steps, obviously, from 4.0 to where we are now at 5.6 with OpenAI. And everything that Anthropic has done, like obviously it's huge and they're doing amazing work, but we hadn't seen that jump that we saw on Fable 5, and that's why I believe like architecture is gonna be super important. And even with him, like they're starting to hit a ceiling on the model, and as the model gets better, agentic work will obviously improve. That sounds obvious, but I think I have not still seen that self-generating, self-improving loop that we would love to see on the models, at least on the commercial ones, for it to continue to get better. So I see it around the corner probably, uh, and is there a way that we can achieve it? I am sure, but right now I do believe that for the past, since I have created like my own that it's like truly custom, I do see what the limitations are, and then what I have been doing is working on the things that make it better overall, and that they're not dependent on just the model. Like how can my memory be better? How can my files be in a way that no matter what AI I am using is organized? And if a new model came that is ready to take over, do I have the information organized in that correct manner to take advantage of that? So one big thing, and something that if you are working with AI and you're developing stuff, or if you're a business that is trying to integrate it way more, like preparing for the new technology is huge. It's like, how can I make sure that my agents are able to access my files correctly? Is this a file that a person has to see? Is this a file that just AI has to see? Is this a file that everyone should see? How am I gonna access it? Do I need to put guardrails? Where is it gonna find the information? Is it gonna have it locally? Is it gonna have it on the cloud? And you think of that process, and I think that is gonna be such a huge advantage, because as the technology gets better, like you can just point it to the direction of the information. For example, if there's a file or a brief that I don't want to see, but I have revised just so that the agent understand what needs to improve, I'll create it as a markdown file. But if that's something that, for example, this thing that we are reading, I created as HTML because it looks pretty, because it's easy for me to understand. But depending on the use case of the files, depending of the use case of the material, of the videos, of the photos, of the information, overall, like being able to organize it, your notes, your memory, the things that you're saving, your SOPs, all of that in a way that as the technology gets better, like you're just getting better with it as well. And Tesla having a cap with engineers on AI spend is a little bit crazy. Yeah, well, probably because of how many engineers. And something that happens with AI is that it can be really productive, but it can also distract you a lot. And that happens to me because I am trying to see what things because I'm trying to see what thing I am supposed to do next with AI instead of actually tackling the problem that I have in front of me. So, for example, on Tuesdays, and I tend to be the worst with this, but it's like, oh, I understand that I know that my limit is gonna reset. So then I start doing other things that are not my top 3 priorities just because I want to use my credits and my AI that I have already paid for. So that tends to happen to me. So I'm not even sure that it's like just because of the cost and that it's a fortune, but it's like you are able to use the AI more intentionally when you know that you have a limit and you're like, oh, I'm gonna communicate better with the AI. I'm not just gonna send it on these wild goose chases, because something that I do is that I could probably come to the computer, I put a password or copy and paste something, and then I'll spend the time, and it's gonna take 30 minutes for the agent or 20 minutes for the agent to do it, but I'd rather the agent go and do it. And if I had limited compute, I would probably go and do it myself. So it can be like a double-edged sword to just have unlimited AI and unlimited access to AI, because you forget to just sit down and think of novel ideas, and it's just execution all the time. And there's also a important factor of how you're supposed to utilize it. You don't want to be doing the job of just copying and pasting things as if it was a chatbot. You need to start understanding where your value is, because the worst place that you want to find yourself in is people think that the worst place they can find people think that the worst place that they can find themselves in is not knowing AI. I actually think that the worst place that you can find yourself in is knowing a little bit of AI, but knowing AI that will be automated by AI. I hope that that makes sense. But a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I copy and paste from here to here, and then I drag this link and I put it here, and then it executes. But that is gonna be able to be automated. So you wanna use your brain and do some critical thinking on how you're gonna solve these problems. So you look at the problems that you have on your company, and then you're like, okay, this is how I'm gonna solve it. And then you give those instructions to AI. Like, you don't let AI think for you. Like, that is the most risky stuff, because then you're not even doing the action, so you're not learning how to do it, and you're not even taking the time to think about it or communicate it correctly. Like, you're not doing absolutely nothing with it. So that would be really risky, because then you're gonna end up with no skills, and the AI is gonna be able to do the thing that you're doing right now, that is the dragging and dropping, the copying and pasting, the opening the files, the searching, the organizing. Like, you should think on the process and the things that are unique that the AI is not gonna be able to do, and that is gonna be the key. So I am sure that that is a lot of money that they're spending at Tesla, but I have seen that if I have limited AI, sometimes I free up some time to just sit down and think and use the AI in a more efficient way. Even when there's times that I run out of credits, like, I don't know, I run out of credits at 3 and I know it's gonna reset at 7, and I might have 4 of the best hours of just deep thinking, organizing, and whenever I have the AI back, I am able to send tasks to it. I think we have already covered Fable 5. I think we are good with that, but then bringing it back, then taking it away, then bringing it back, then taking it away, I think it sucks. Also, I don't know why they would, something that I hate is that they would put in the subscription and then take it back. And they said that they were gonna take it out today, but now they gave us until the 12th. So that is something that I did. I was like, oh, they're gonna take away Fable 5, so I need to use it as much as possible. So that becomes one of my priorities. Open models, GLM 5.2. I saw a bunch of videos. It's not as good, but you don't want to risk your entire operation just being shut down. Like if I hate it because if I was running things on Fable 5 and then they just disconnected, like it's just such a bad sign. And like I hate it. Like people having to think about this opens the door to, like it does open the door to competition. And agents stalled. So it depends on what you're doing. I know that like unless it's like a specialty position, I still believe AI is amazing at what they do. So and ChatGPT launching, but we cannot use it, and that is the fact that they can block it that easily is pretty crazy for me. And
You know that you guys are giving fuel to the conspiracy theories that this guy is like everything is made easier for him. And then, you know, like I would never believe that because I think he's the greatest player ever. But when it comes to Egypt, no, now it's personal. Yeah, now I believe every conspiracy theory. You guys are making his job easier. The penalty, the same